You're watching Your View.
Thank you for joining us. This is Scott Kaplan and Crew Tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM SoCal Sports Talk. Here's Scott Kaplan, Alex Padilla, and John Browner.
Hey, great friends. What is happening? It is Monday afternoon. We are officially on the airwaves of 1090. We are on the stream of YouTube. We'll be on cable television tonight. And you can always find us on all the audio podcast platforms. Kaplan and Crew with Grande and the Brown Man on a Monday afternoon and just getting things started. We got a great show. We really do. Huge happenings this past weekend around the National League West, where the Padres dropped 2 out of 3. But the bigger story really is Fernando Tatis and his injury. The Dodgers win 2 out of 3. The Giants win 2 out of 3. So the Padres, again, having problems climbing that NL West, the standings. And the thing is, I'm starting to feel like they could be in some trouble here all of a sudden. And it's not just the Tatis injury. It's the pitching. It's the lack of moves at the trade deadline. So much to get to related to the Padres. I'll tell you something else I want to get to today. The Olympics. I got to admit, I haven't been watching as much as I intended to when the Olympics began, but I got to say, I love these stories. I'm almost more into fan reaction for the Olympics than I am into the actual Olympics. And I'll explain all of that as the afternoon goes on. Plus, he's a top 5 quarterback in the NFL, but it doesn't even look like he'll play this year. Can't wait to give Browner the business about Carson Wentz and the Indianapolis Colts. I'll get to that story a little bit later on as well. So we got a great show. We're just getting onto the airwaves. I'll say hello to Grande and the Brown Man here in 1 second. But in fact, you know what? I will say hello to them first, and then I'll get to this because I received a lot of people. This is Monday. Monday morning, I was getting a lot of people hitting me up saying, what's the deal? How come you're not back on television this morning on KUSI? And you know what? I will explain why I resigned from KUSI. By the way, lucky for KUSI that I did that, because had I not resigned, my plan was to resign on live television. My plan was literally to resign on live television, but I resigned before I ever made it to television on Monday, and I'll explain why that is in 1 second. But first, say good afternoon to a man who was busy yesterday evening watching the USA versus Mexico soccer match while Browner and I were out doing our thing, partying, having a great Sunday afternoon. Hope everybody had a great weekend. This guy is hermano numero uno. He's repping the 805, Oxnard, California's favorite son, Ventura County in La Casa, on a Monday afternoon. Opening thoughts from Grande Alejandro Padilla. Hola.
Yeah, soccer's stupid. I don't know why people watch it. It's dumb. You know what else is? You know what's good though? You know what's really good? F1. Yeah, that's right. That's my first thought. F1. The Hungary Grand Prix yesterday was the best race I've ever. It was chaos. Okay, let me just say it like this: 20 racers, every race. That's all you got. 20 cars. By the end of turn 1 in lap 1, you were down to 14. Chaos. Awesome. Fantastic. I loved it. That's my first thought. My second thought is I'm no longer looking at the NL West for the Padres. I've officially declared them dead. They're not going to win the NL West. They're not even going to get close. Y'all better hope they win get that second wild card spot, because when you split against the Rockies at home, and now a week ago we wanted to trade Chris Paddock and never see him pitch again, and now we're sad that he's hurt. Yeah, NL West that's done. Look at the wild card standings, Padres fans, and I could be proven wrong, but I won't be. That's what I got in my mind today, Scott.
So why is soccer dumb? Because Mexico lost?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And they played so much better than the U.S. They just didn't capitalize on that. Listen, I can get into it. I don't know how many people actually watched it. I know after the U.S. scored, it felt like everybody was watching the game yesterday on Twitter. Listen, the U.S. had not their best players. Mexico had a lot of their best players, not all of them. Their best player got hurt in the first game. No excuses. They lost. And they didn't lose to the U.S.'s best. And I know Mexico has playing tonight at 1 a.m. in the Olympics in the semifinals. So I know that they have a split squad. But if you're a Mexico fan, to lose the Nations League the first one ever to the U.S. and to lose the Gold Cup, it's embarrassing. Flat out embarrassing. No excuses. The U.S.
Why is
outplayed.
Mexico so much better than the U.S. that losing to
Yes,
the U.S. is embarrassing?
in their Gold Cup history, they've played each other 6 times. Mexico's 5-1 until yesterday. And as a Mexican soccer supporter, you will never admit that the U.S. is better than you, even though it looks like they are surpassing you with individual talent and now overall achievement. And that's a hard pill to swallow if you're a Mexico soccer fan.
Yeah. Hey, you mentioned that the Padres split with the Rockies. I said they lost 2 out of 3 over the weekend, which they did, but it was a 4-game series and they split. I will tell you guys, I had a great weekend just in terms of like being in lots of different places around San Diego. On Friday night, I was in Escondido and went to the Grand Comedy Club. But before we went in there, we went to a place across the street. I think it was called like Tony Pepperoni's. It was like a pizza joint, huge place, TVs everywhere. And I was watching the Padre game with tons of Padre fans. And I saw the kid out in left field take the ball away, which nobody's even talking about that this weekend because everybody's talking about Tatis's injury.
Yeah, I was there on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
I was sitting down the third baseline, right next to the ball girl and security guard where they sit.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I got direct access to Tatis injury and direct access to that redhead kid that did that. And I've never seen a kid feel so bad. And I was like, if he were an adult, he would have been kicked out of this game. But he sat there in the front row with his head in his like sweater for a
Mm-hmm.
solid inning and a half. Like the kid felt
I'm surprised
awful.
that, yeah, right. You know, he had a Jeffrey Mayer moment, so
Yeah.
to speak, you
Yeah.
know? So, all right. Well, hey, listen, I was with this guy all afternoon yesterday, and man, oh man, I think I'm a lightweight when it comes to drinking. My goodness. Give this guy 2 Jack and Cokes and forget about it. Look out, sucker. Ladies and gentlemen, 6'7" tall, twisted steel, sex appeal, big sacks, Big Macs, the hot take machine, and a man known internationally to the ladies as the Brown Saw. This brother brings a street cred from what used to be known as the 7 Mile Casino Podcast Shed, but he's moved indoors to the brand new headquarters of Kaplan and Crew in Sorrento Valley. He's the only man there. He's got the whole office to himself. Ladies and gentlemen, repping the south side of Chicago, JB, Big Brown, the Brown Man, John Browner in the house. Brown?
You know how when you are hanging out with people and one person's drunk and they want you to be drunk, so they keep saying you're drunk? That was Scott. Bruh, you know how many drinks I can drink without being drunk? That's just me having fun, bruh.
No, man.
Alex, when we went out in Miami, how
Yeah.
many drinks did I have?
As many as I had, which is more than 2.
And we were not drunk. And those glasses were way taller.
Dude, first of all, this guy comes to the track yesterday. Okay, Alex, I know you had things to do on Sunday and you don't like to go out on Sundays, but let me tell you something. We had yesterday at the track, me, we had Al Long, we had Bernard Thompson, we had Cameron Azir, we had Browner, we had his friend Tiffany, we had my friend David and his daughter Kylie. And we had a really great crew yesterday afternoon. Everybody having a terrific time. Jason Lawhead in the house.
Yeah.
Browner starts pounding drinks early, you know, starts drinking some kind of canned. What were you drinking, Browner?
Ginger and bourbon.
Yeah. So Browner's drinking these canned drinks early. We all decide we're going to leave the track and we're going to go to the Kraken, which is like a biker bar up in Cardiff, right? So Browner comes up, get him a couple of Jack and Cokes. Browner's playing pool. Terrible pool player.
Terrible.
However, hold
Terrible.
on, but as bad as he is, a goat. In fact, Browner's screaming in the middle of a biker bar, Alex. I'm the GOAT, baby. I'm the GOAT
That's
of
right.
pool,
That's
of billiards, baby. I'm the GOAT.
That's
And
right.
my girlfriend's like, is he going to get us into a fight here? Because it's like all bikers, you know? And I'm like, hey, Brown, we don't want any mink in here today. You know what I mean? We just don't want any of that. We don't want any of that smoke, you know? And I'm telling you, just 2 Jack and Cokes. And he took over the entire room, like loud as can be, talking all kinds of smack to everybody in the house. It was hilarious.
Listen, those people had a great time because of my presence. And that leads me to today's hit list. You know, when people talk trash on the sidelines, then they get in the game, they can't ante up. You got to put them in a place. Scott Kaplan is on the hit list today. Because you know why? I was playing pool against this girl. I beat her. You know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden, here comes this guy to try to revenge, okay? Try to get a little relationship revenge and beat me at pool. But what I tell y'all all the time, if I'm bad at something, I play to the level of my competition. And so he stepped in, and you know what they say about punks who jump up? They get beat down. Roll the video. Boom. Okay, that's me nailing that last ball. It came down to the last. Listen, I am terrible. I'm not gonna lie. That was all luck. Okay, but nevertheless, I went full goat mode. Knocked that last ball in under pressure. I made some crazy shots during that game. It should have been televised. So therefore, Kaplan, you're on the hit list, boy.
I deserve to be on the hit list because as much as you won, I would say I lost more than you won. I freaking gave that game away, man.
No doubt.
I gave it away. I set him up to win it like you couldn't even believe. But Alex, just to show you how bad of a pool player Browner really is, roll the video, boy. Look at him. He just whiffing over and over again. Just whiffing over and over again.
And you lost to that?
I did.
I did that like 3 times.
It's embarrassing, dude.
It is embarrassing.
So I can knock that out of the decathlon then. We don't have to do that.
Not yet, because I want a rematch. This was like a preliminary match. We weren't on the official clock, but I definitely want a rematch.
It looks like you got eliminated in the heats, man. You didn't even make it to the final.
Didn't look good. I know, I can tell you. So anyway, great time yesterday, Browner. Alex, you were very missed. I said it on the air. I said, hey, we're going to be hanging out at the track on Sunday if anybody wants to join us. So we had Al and Bernard and others stop by, and it was a great time. Brown, did you have a good time yesterday?
Yeah, man, it was fun. It's always good to get to hang out with the people who listen to the show and just have a good time and enjoy. Well, I was terrible at betting yesterday, too. I should have hit this myself. I came in second 3 times. 3 times.
And bet to win each time.
Each time bet to win, because that's the only way you should be betting at the track. And I lost each time.
All right. So we had a great time, Alex. We went from the track to the cranking to play pool and drink. And then we went from there. We weren't too drunk. I mean, we were like fine, but I was on a bike. And then we went to Best Pizza up in Cardiff. We all hung out there, had dinner together. It was a great time, man. You were very, very missed.
Well, I didn't go to the track, but I did run into a great friend yesterday who was very familiar.
Tell us about that.
Well, I believe his name's Daniel, right?
Daniel Aboud, yeah.
There you go.
I saw his social media.
I went to go pick up dinner in North Park, and I just the sushi place on 30th Street, and I just see
that Mexican sushi place?
No, regular sushi, and I see this. I just hear a name, someone yell my name. I turn around and I'm like, I know that guy. I don't remember his name, but I know that guy. And he's like, you remember me? And I was like, yeah, you have a pest control company. And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, but I don't know your name. And he never told me his name for whatever reason. And we talked while I waited for my food for like 10 minutes. And it was good to see him.
His name is Daniel Aboud. He's the no fear of failure guy. Yeah. He's the guy that was driving down the road working for a pest control company, heard David Wells tell the story of no fear of failure, and then decided to quit his job and start his own business. And he and his wife have been kicking ass ever since. Daniel, shout out to you, my brother. And he actually said that they were on their Harleys yesterday and they drove down the coast, Browner. And he's like, if I would have known you guys were at the Kraken, I would have stopped by and hung out with you guys for a little while. So it was an awesome day. Hope everybody had a great weekend. I know I did. Shout out to the Grand Comedy Club up in Escondido, and shout out to Escondido. They closed the main drag in Escondido and they put on these car shows on Friday nights. Town is packed. Interesting to see a different part of San Diego come to life because it's a little outside of my bubble. And then shout out to the Belly Up on Saturday night. I was back in the Belly Up for first time in almost 2 years. Great show. Awesome to see everybody there. Shout out Belly Up. And then all weekend at the Del Mar racetrack. Del Mar is alive. The track is great. Beautiful weather, the horses, the drinks, the people. It's just awesome. So I hope everybody's enjoying their summer and having a great time. So listen, let me just address something because I want to be open and honest about it because I don't know any other way to do it, but here goes. I got a lot of people this morning asking me why I wasn't on KUSI. And do you guys, I know you guys don't watch morning TV, but do you know who was on TV this morning in my place who took my spot on KUSI? Take a shot.
Was
Burt
it? Does
Gross.
it rhyme with the shirt Smoshman?
Yeah, Burt Grossman. Burt Grossman, our colleague who you'll hear tonight on
What a-
Browner and Burt,
What a traitor!
he's on KUSI on their Prep Pigskin Report high school show, and Bert is now the Monday morning sports correspondent, which is funny to me because he don't watch anything. He doesn't know anything that's going on, and you can tell. But whatever.
Hater.
No, it's all good. It's all good. It's hilarious. I was like looking at him like he's got the microphone we gave him. He's got the camera we gave him. And now he's using all the equipment we gave him to go on KUSI. It's all good. I have no issue with it. Here's the thing. Alex, if you put up the tweet, let me just show everybody this. Last week on Monday, I said what I said. I'll stand by it. And let me be very specific. If you're an NFL football player and you don't get vaccinated and you bring COVID into the locker room and the team has to forfeit the game and your teammates and the other team both don't get paid, you are a selfish football player. That's just the way it is, man. It's your body, do your thing. But if you're not a superstar, you're not going to make somebody's team if you're not vaccinated. By the way, this isn't me. This is the NFL who made this decision. The NFL owners lost so much money last year. They want the season to go off without a hitch. So they have pressured the players into getting vaccinated. Guess what? If I were on an NFL football team and I were vaccinated and there were a few people that weren't, and then one of them brings it in and we're screwed, I'm pissed. Okay. Now, the questions that I get from people is, well, what if you are vaccinated and you get it? Well, that's what the NFL is saying, that if it's the unvaccinated player that gets it, then we got problems. If you're vaccinated and you've done everything you can do to try and, ward off the virus, then that happens. And it does happen. By the way, I have a very close friend who's a TV executive at Fox who was vaccinated. His family was vaccinated. And guess what? They got it and it knocked him down, but it didn't put him in the hospital and on ventilators. Okay. So KUSI puts out this tweet last week. And Alex, if you could put it back up on the screen, KUSI puts out this tweet. Remember, I'm a weekly correspondent. They pay me to show up on Monday and give opinions. They put out this tweet on Monday. Radio host Scott Kaplan said, shames and demeans all NFL players for not getting vaccinated, et cetera, right? So now, this is Monday of last week. They put out this tweet. They don't say like KUSI correspondent. They make it seem like they're separating themselves from me, radio host. Dude, I've been on their show for 2 years, every Monday morning at 8:20. It's their highest rated segment on their morning show. They sell advertising because I show up with opinions. Okay. Now, I on Monday afternoon realized I'm getting pounded on by the anti-vax community. My Instagram is blown up with people, several of whom I actually have personal relationships with. Not that they're close friends, but they know me and they're ripping me because of my opinion about football players and vaccinations. I don't care if you're a standardized civilian person out there and you don't get vaccinated, that is your choice. That is your body. That is your choice. But get ready. You're not going to be able to go certain places without a vaccination. Your employer may ask you to be vaccinated. Hey, in my afternoon life, like way in the afternoons, I work for Disney. I have a part-time job working for Disney for ESPN. Guess what? Every employee of ESPN and Disney has to be vaccinated. If you're not, you won't be working. Not for that company. Now, you may think they're a bunch of commies, but that's the way they've decided to run their business. Okay, so look, here's the thing. I go on KUSI. I lend a strong opinion. All NFL players who are not vaccinated, who take this risk and put other people in jeopardy, those guys are being selfish. Well, I get slammed. I mean, ham slammed by the anti-vax community on Twitter and on Instagram, right? So finally, I decide here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to resign from KUSI, but I'm going to do it live on the air. Guys, I was literally going to go on the air this morning and say, hey, Paul, you know what? Really appreciate the 2 years. Don't appreciate what you guys did to me. I'm going to resign. And you know what they were pissed about? Not that I said what I said. They were pissed that people were on Twitter saying KUSI sucks, and I was liking the tweets. So here's the deal. The owner's son runs the social media. Little Mikey McKinnon runs the social media. Well, little Mikey got all butthurt and got his panties in a wad because how dare I, their employee, like a tweet that was anti-KUSI? Well, how dare you guys put out a tweet mischaracterizing what I had to say, okay, when I'm a weekly correspondent. You guys pay me to show up every Monday. So typical. I've worked for bullies before, okay? I have had bullies say to me, this is the agenda, push it. And when you're desperate for a job, you do what you're told. And it sucks to sell out that way. I've been there. I've been bullied, okay? Let me tell you something. For the very small amount of money that I was paid every week, I'm not being bullied, okay? I said what I said. I stand by it. They mischaracterized my words. Then they got upset when I fanned the flames. You asked for my opinion. I gave it to you. You then mischaracterized it and put it out for all kinds of social media. I fanned the flames and you guys didn't like it. Hey, man, listen, I'm past being bullied, okay? I'm past it, especially by a kid, okay, whose dad owns the TV station, okay? But you're used to seeing grandpa and dad get their way because they pay everybody, and guys will sell out because they need jobs. I get it. I don't blame anybody for that. So I'm out of KUSI. I resigned. I completely resigned, and that's the end of that. Good luck to them. Paul Rudy, good guy, as far as I know. Burt Grossman will take that gig. All good. Much love. That's it for me. I'm out. All right. Hey, we are in the 7 Mile Casino studios. We are officially underway. Alex says the Padres are toast. Is he right? Let's get there next.
We'll be right back with more of Scott Kaplan and Crew tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM. A new generation of radio. SoCal Sports Talk.
Kaplan and Crew tonight is brought to you by BMW San Diego, your certified BMW dealer, serving drivers throughout San Diego and the surrounding areas.
Hey, Dave Smith here. Make sure you listen to my show on the Mightier 1090, 6 to 10 p.m. Saturday and Sunday night. The only local sports talk in all of Southern California on the weekends, right here on the Mightier 1090.
The all-new and mightier 1090.
Great things can be achieved when a community comes together. Join Erica Cardenas on Doing More as she introduces you to ordinary people working side by side to confront tremendous challenges and make a positive impact in their community. Watch Doing More Sunday night at 6 on YourView or stream it online at yourview.com. Doing More is brought to you by California Hope. Hope lives here.
At La Jolla Cosmetic, we try to help people achieve well-being. And we feel that it's not only important to look good, but also feel good inside. And honestly, what a better opportunity to help my community than being a supporter of an organization such as Las Patronas.
The mission of Las Patronas is to provide financial assistance to local nonprofits that are providing valuable community services in the areas of health, education, social services, and cultural arts. La Jolla Cosmetic has been one of our biggest supporters at Las Patronas, so we couldn't do what we do without their support.
You feel the need and you see the need because we go to visit each grant applicant.
Partnering with groups that are actually dedicated to help your community, it's the best thing that you can do as a responsible business.
Time now for Kaplan and Crew tonight's Community Connect.
Shelter to Soldiers selects dogs from shelters and rescue groups all throughout California. Our ideal candidate at Shelter to Soldier is 8 months to a year and a half old. They're confident in different environments. They have strong social drive. Another motivator like food or toy drive. And ultimately, these are dogs that want to have a job and that have a greater purpose to become a service dog. Currently, about 85% of our dogs pass their service dog training. But if they don't pass, they become a career change. We don't like to use the word failure around here. So career change to an emotional support animal, or if that doesn't work out, then they career change to a pet dog. Still finding a loving placement and purpose in life.
Welcome to the Jacobs and Cushman San Diego Food Bank and their 90,000 square foot facility. We feed 350,000 people every single month. Many people ask, how can I help? You can volunteer for the San Diego Food Bank. Just go to san-diegofoodbank.org, register to volunteer. No group is too small, no group is too large, but those volunteers are integral to our success in feeding the community. Another way you can help is by hosting a food drive. Just go online and register your group, your company, or organization. It's that easy. Another great way is through our virtual food drive, where you can literally buy food on our behalf. Lastly, another great way to make an impact is to go online and make a financial contribution to the San Diego or North County Food Bank. On behalf of the San Diego Food Bank, our staff, our volunteers, and the 350,000 people we serve every month, thank you for helping us fight hunger and feed hope in San Diego County.
Hey, it's Pharrell here, inviting you to catch my shows on the Mightier 1090. We're on twice every Monday through Friday, 1 to 3 p.m. and 7 to 9 p.m. Pacific. Trust me, all the other sports stations are sleeping with your wife.
The all-new and Mightier 1090.
Sometimes they say it might work, it might not work. And so I ask myself the question, like, why even get the vaccine if it can also harm you? For me, it's like taking a 50-50 chance.
Hi, Andrea. Some say that the vaccine is harmful or that it might not work, but that's not true. Millions of people have been vaccinated with no ill effects, and I can tell you that getting the vaccine is far safer than not getting it.
Welcome to the Jacobs and Cushman San Diego Food Bank and their 90,000 square foot facility. We feed 350,000 people every single month. Many people ask, how can I help? You can volunteer for the San Diego Food Bank. Just go to san-diegofoodbank.org, register to volunteer. No group is too small, no group is too large, but those volunteers are integral to our success in feeding the community. Another way you can help is by hosting a food drive. Just go online and register your group, your company, or organization. It's that easy. Another great way is through our virtual food drive, where you can literally buy food on our behalf. Lastly, another great way to make an impact is to go online and make a financial contribution to the San Diego or North County Food Bank. On behalf of the San Diego Food Bank, our staff, our volunteers, and the 350,000 people we serve every month, thank you for helping us fight hunger and feed hope in San Diego County.
Kaplan and Crew tonight presents Sports in a Minute.
Orange County Soccer Club bounced back from a tough stretch to get the shutout win against Oakland Roots on Saturday. Kobe Henry got the scoring going in the 31st minute. Ronaldo Damus added on 5 minutes later with another goal. And Aiden Apodaca sealed the deal with OCSC's third goal of the match in the 76th minute. It was Apodaca's first goal with OCSC. Miko Kaningas was named USLChampionship.com Man of the Match for his pair of assists in Henry and Apodaca's goals. He also had 6 key passes, completed 20 of 26 passes, and made 6 recoveries defensively. OCSC's next match is this Saturday against LA Galaxy 2. You can catch the action right here on Your View. I'm Haley Stasiak. That's your Sports in a Minute. Now back to more Kaplan and Crew tonight.
Classic Game Time. The best games from the past season on Your View.
It's like the spirit of Greenwood is all over the place in Tulsa, North Tulsa specifically. It's like it's not just one location anymore.
This is the beginning. This is a launching pad. This is not something that we just did to come together just for this moment.
The Spirit of Greenwood is brought to you by Multicultural Health Foundation. The vaccine can protect us. Will you? Verify and trust.
We'll be right back with more of Scott Kaplan and Crew tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM. A new generation of radio. SoCal Sports Talk.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 and Your View, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal.
Hey, great friends, we welcome you back inside the 7 Mile Casino studios here of Kaplan and Crew, along with Grande and the Brown Man. So I've said what I needed to say about the KUSI thing. It's over. It's in the past. History. Good luck to everybody there. And perhaps I'll show up somewhere else on TV here locally. But if not, that's okay. We got plenty of TV FaceTime, which is probably more than the viewers need, because every night you can catch us between 7 and 8 p.m. on Cox's Your View channels. It's channel 4 San Diego, channel 4 Santa Barbara, 118 Palos Verdes, 118 Orange County. And pretty funny, by the way, Alex, yesterday, as Browner and I were hanging out, the young lady friend that he had with him, Tiffany, sweetheart of a girl, she was actually kind of saying that, no, she's never seen one episode of Kaplan and Crew on YouTube, on TV. She's never heard it on radio. Like, as far as she knows, Browner is an NBA basketball player. She has no idea that he is a superstar on radio and TV. What do you think about that?
I think that means that we haven't made it to groupie level yet. You know, we haven't. I think that we're not big enough to have people just date us because we're on TV yet. That's
right. Because I thought he showed up with this girl, and I was like, oh my God, she's a little cutie. Then we started chatting, and she's really got a great thing going on with her life and her career, and she's adorable and whatever. I'm like, is this girl just into Browner because he's a superstar like this? And it turns out she has no idea that Browner is such a superstar.
I can't believe that you're even putting this out on blast like this. This is very unlike Browner to even let you say names and things of this nature.
Browner, am I putting you in a bad spot right now?
I don't even know what you're talking about. It's news to me. I don't know. What?
Anytime
I don't recall seeing any of this.
Anytime I've had any sort of personal experience with Browner outside of the show, I just thought we put it in his diary and locked it up with the rest of them, you know?
I have no idea who this Tiffany person is he's referring to.
Hey, listen, man, you bring him around me, chances are it makes it onto the air.
I don't know.
Oh, that's
I don't
a 100%
know what he's talking
chance,
about.
Which is why
I mean, hey, you want to show off how much of a great pool player you are? You want to dance around? You want to show everybody how you win at pool? I mean, hey, you can't bring video from your victory yesterday and then act like you just happen to be running solo.
I was winning solo. What you mean, bro? 8-ball corner pocket. Did you not see the video? Do we need to run a replay? We don't run it back. Bam, 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 bam. What you mean, bro? Winner over here. Anti-Simone
Did that
Biles.
celebration make you want to punch him harder when you guys box later? Like, did
You know,
that
this
fuel
whole-
you? Did that
Me?
motivate? Yeah, you.
Well, I
When
was
he-
looking
when
at
he showed
Browner.
off in your face like that over a pool game.
He was talking trash as
Bro,
a
I wasn't talking any trash at all. No, I wasn't.
This guy goes, I'm gonna clean this table. That's all in pool jargon, bro, and got wiped.
Oh, please. Got wiped. The dude had like one ball left. I had a whole table. I start clearing the table, and then I have this one shot where I wind up putting the 8-ball right in the corner so that Browner can now make it no problem. I handed him the game. Handed it to him.
Listen, sometimes you fumble on the goal line, man.
Honestly,
They
it
run the other
sounds like you're pretty annoyed right now, Scott. Sounds like
No,
you're pretty annoyed at the
no.
celebration.
Listen,
No.
you know what it sounds
at
like?
the loss.
Sounds like he choked. Okay, sounds like he choked, doesn't it? Oh, he
Oh my
left it
God.
right in the front. Sounds like you choked, bro.
And
You
this
had
is
to- you
only
had to
the
hear
pool
Browner.
game.
Dude, you had to hear Browner in the middle of a bar going, I'm the GOAT, baby. I'm the GOAT. And he's going like this. He's going, "Bah, ah, 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 bah, ah, 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 ah." He's making like these noises. He's like, I'm the GOAT, baby.
Goat, bro. What you mean?
You imagine
I
if
was
he
in there killing it.
imagine if he knocks you out, dude. He might like pee on you or something. Like he might like
Hell,
go,
yeah, what are you doing?
he
What
might
are you
just go
doing?
like to the next level, dude.
Oh,
of
Oh my
disrespect.
God, dude.
Oh,
Yeah.
Ew, gross, man. That was
Hey,
gross.
terrible.
if he's doing that over a game of pool, what's he gonna do if he physically knocks you out?
I know. And I got to give Browner a little bit of credit. He looks like he's been lifting weights or something.
Told you, bro.
He don't look as skinny as he used to look. Seriously.
I'm swole, bro. I'm swole.
I'm
The
swole,
goat
huh?
is swole.
Bruh.
Hey, can I ask one quick question, and then I'll get into what kind of the real stuff? Browner, you're walking around yesterday with a rag in your back pocket. What's that all about?
Oh, that was my face covering. That was in case we get into a place where it's super crowded, I
Yeah.
put my face covering on.
Got it.
I'm still about this life, bro. I ain't slipping. I ain't slipping at all. All the people who I associate with are vaccinated, and therefore, if I go into a crowded room or I have to be shoulder to shoulder with some unfamiliars, I mask up, bro.
Okay.
I gotta say, I was
Nice.
at the Padre game on Friday, and
Mhm.
this is the third or fourth game I've been to since it's been officially no more capacity and no masks and all that stuff. And I know I saw Lollapalooza this weekend, and that
Whoa.
looked insane in Chicago.
Boy.
It I didn't even think about it once on Friday. I didn't even look around, and I was like, I sat next to my fiance sat next to strangers, and I was like, never crossed my mind. Like I am fully back, not back, but I'm just like kind of when I'm out, I don't think about it. When I'm
Yeah,
at home is when I think about it.
Yeah, you know what? I'll tell you what. If anybody wants to give me the Pfizer boost shot, I'll take that one too. I will take that one
Like right
also.
now?
Yeah, right now. I take it right now, no problem. In fact, I got killed so bad on Instagram by these guys who are these anti-vaxxers, and I actually wrote back to a couple of them, and I was like, "Hey, so can you just explain to me? Because I know that you're a photographer by profession, now apparently a scientist as well. Would you just explain to me the science that you know that I don't have access to? Because I'm just like the sheep, and I just followed, and I just took the vaccination without even knowing what was in it. I did no research. Would you just explain to me the science that you know that I don't know? Because you're a photographer, you know?" And this guy sends me these links to like YouTube videos, anti-vax YouTube videos. And I'm like, so this is what has brainwashed you into believing that this vaccination is so bad that you wouldn't take it. I'm like, okay, just we'll never be able to have a legitimate conversation going back and forth because I don't know jack squat. And guess what? You don't either. So anyway. All right, let me move this thing forward here. We are in the 7 Mile Casino Studios. It is Kaplan and crew with Grande and the Brown Man. Okay, Alex, you mentioned going to the Padre game on Friday night. I mentioned that I was at the Grand Comedy Club Friday night in Escondido, and before I went to the Grand Comedy Club, I was at a place across the way having some pizzas, beers, and watching the Padres game on like 50 TVs wall to wall. The storyline, just besides the splitting with Colorado, who's supposed to be the bottom of the barrel of the division, these are the games you got to win, especially as San Francisco is improving their roster. Chris Bryant hits a home run in his debut. As the Dodgers are improving their roster with Max Scherzer coming, he'll pitch this week. By the way, Mookie Betts going back to playing second base, making a spectacular defensive play and hitting a home run in his return off the injured list. But while other teams are getting better in the division, and the Padres are supposed to be banking wins against a bad Colorado team, the Padres split and they lose Tatis. Oh, and by the way, not only do they lose Tatis, they lost Chris Paddock, which 4 weeks ago, you'd be like, who cares? Good. Now you're like, oh my God, actually kind of need this guy. So I'll throw it to you guys. I think the Padres are in some serious trouble right now. Pitching staff is in trouble. No Tatis could be huge trouble. Alex, Browner, you got one who's already declared them dead in Grande, and one who last week admitted that they're no longer a World Series contender because the Dodgers have gotten so much better. Fellas, question: are the Padres in trouble?
I wouldn't say in trouble. Every season starts with the hope that you could win the World Series. I thought that this team had a really good shot at that until the Dodgers made all the moves that they did. And now the fact that they're getting healthy, even though we beat them a couple games when they were healthy, we are not healthy. We are kind of in a not shambles, but we are limping, and we're limping in a space where we should be sprinting. And so I would say I'm cautious about any predictions going forward. The split with Colorado didn't bother me. Again, it's baseball. I understand the ups and downs of baseball, but the Giants trade for Chris Bryant, the day he shows up, home run. I'm pretty sure Max Scherzer is going to show out business when he shows up. Trey Turner, the exact same thing. And what are we going to do? What are we going to have to show for the trade deadline? Nothing. Nothing really. Nothing of importance, because the guy who we got, okay, like we ain't tearing it up now. So I just think that with the pitching starting to dwindle out, Darvish continuing to struggle, still Snell being hit and miss, and now the guy who no one likes, Paddock, being out and just now biting our fingernails about it. Where's Mackenzie Gore? I must ask again. Here we are again asking the same question that we were asking 5 months ago. Where is Mackenzie Gore? If the dude is a top 10 pitching prospect, all these other organizations bring up their prospects when they need them. We need him to come up and just give innings. Period. Just give innings. He's clearly not good enough trade chip to get anything for him. So let's have him come and eat innings.
I think that the reason why I declare them dead is because when you're clamoring for a prospect to make his way up and pitch for you and be some sort of success as a rookie, you're already in trouble. I mean, that's just the fact. It is like we've already known that the Padres pitching was weak this year. It wasn't what was expected. We thought that would be a strength. Obviously, it's not. And now if we're all clamoring, and I understand the want, I want to see it too. They put him in bubble wrap and hit him somewhere in Arizona. So he's not even pitching in AAA right now. So if that's our saving grace, is a pitcher who is a top prospect who the Padres don't even want people viewing in public in El Paso, then how can you even have any sort of faith that they're going to win the NL West? When you look at the Dodgers, they're going to throw out a rotation of a Walker Buehler, of a Max Scherzer, of a Julio Urias, and if he comes back, Clayton Kershaw. Guys that perform, guys that when healthy perform. Our guys when healthy are not performing. Yu Darvish is not performing. Blake Snell is not performing. So and on top of all that poop of pitching that we have, you have a incredibly inconsistent offense where if you take Manny Machado and maybe Jake Cronenworth out of this, what do you really have? And I know Adam Frazier's new, so I'm still giving a little time, but really, Manny Machado has been absolutely on fire for the last 2 months. Jake Cronenworth has been solid pretty much all year, but it's not this murderer's row lineup that we thought we had. Will Myers has regressed. Eric Hosmer's a double play machine. Hassan Kim is a rookie basically, so he had a good game yesterday. But like, I'm looking at this team. Do you trust Tommy Pham? No. Do you trust Trent Grisham? No. Do you trust Will Myers? No. Do you trust Nola or Caratini right now? No. So what I'm saying is there are ebbs and flows, highs and lows, and that's been the story for the pitching. The offense is just inconsistent. Like, I don't trust them at all. So I'm not burying them. I'm just saying they're not going to win the West.
Let me tell you guys, I heard over the weekend, somebody said to me, hey, had you heard that the reason the Padres did not get Scherzer in the trade is because the Nationals were demanding that Cronenworth would be part of the trade? And I said, no, I had not heard that. So I called somebody who I know inside the Padres who kind of has, really knows what's going on. And what I was told was it's not that Cronenworth was a part of the trade. It's that Scott Boras, who represents several Padre players, including Eric Hosmer, and I'd have to go back to my notes, but that Boras doesn't like the way the Padres are treating Hosmer.
Oh my God.
Doesn't like the way that they're developing or not necessarily developing his clients in the minor leagues. And so that Boras actually leaked to the Dodgers that the Padres were on the verge of pulling off this trade for Scherzer, and that's when the Dodgers got deeply involved into these conversations. Because, again, this is according to somebody inside the Padres, Scott Boras, the super agent, unhappy with the treatment of Hosmer, unhappy with the lack of development inside the Padres minor league system with his clients, and leaked the whole story to the Dodgers on Scherzer.
If that's true, if that is true, because again, we all have to ifs and myths. Hosmer's got to play better. What do you mean the way that the organization's treating him? You're treating him at the rate he's playing. Terrible. Because if he was playing great, then this would be a topic of conversation.
Well, but let me throw this out. Forget about Hosmer for a second. I'm just going into my notes because I wrote notes when this guy told me what he was telling me. He says, Boras blew it up because he doesn't like how we are developing Gore and treating Hosmer. So this is a person I know deep inside the Padres. I mean, deep, who says Scott Boras blew up the trade because he doesn't like the way we're developing Gore and he doesn't like the way we're treating Hosmer. Now,
I agree with the first part.
That's pretty
agree.
remarkable.
I don't agree with what they're doing with Gore either. But if the agent can blow up a trade in a completely different scenario, like that's bad for business. That's bad for baseball.
That's what happens when one agent is so powerful and has so many clients.
I understand that's the way a lot of sports go. David Falk did that for a while in the NBA. I don't like it, but I understand that it happens. I mean, shame on you, Scott Boras.
No. Yeah. I mean,
and we
yes,
haven't.
no.
Listen, we've been talking about this for the last 10 minutes, and we haven't even mentioned the fact that it's a possibility that Tatis is out for the season.
Well, let's go back to that. Let me talk about Tatis here.
That's why I didn't mention him when I said the lineup. I didn't even mention him because he's not even playing right now.
All right, let me before we get to Tatis, let me have 1 minute to just mention everybody Corky's Pest Control. And here's the thing about Cork. You're seeing a lot of TV commercials, especially during Padre baseball games or during Olympic coverage if you're watching either or. You're seeing Corky's technicians performing pest control related duties, but kind of spoofing that they are Olympic events. But here's the key to the entire commercial, as cute as it is, okay? The key is not 1-800-901-1102. That's a phone number that many of us have ingrained in our memory. We've got it saved in our phones. We know it. We've been singing it for years. What Corky has found, however, is that it's just easier to tell people, Google one word. Just Google one word, and that one word is Corky's. Not Corky's Pest Control, not San Diego Pest Control, not LA Pest Control, not Pest Control, just Corky's. So listen, if you have any problems, ants, spiders, rodents of any kind, especially termites, all you do is you Google the one word, and that one word is Corky's. Corky's Pest Control. I still like the number. Call 1-800-901-1102.
Corky's. No?
Not a goat chant there.
No.
Hey man, don't be
goat, man.
Don't be jealous because you lost, dog. It's all
I did
good.
lose. I did lose.
It's all good. You choked, bro. You choked.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely set you up to win. I mean, I handed you the game.
Amen. Wide right, as far as you're concerned.
Yeah, no, that's true. I went wide right.
Wide right kicker, Scott Kaplan.
I have to admit it. I mean, I wish I could deny it, but I have to admit it. I lost the game. It's not like Browner won it. I lost it.
It's true. I'm not debating what he's saying. It's a count.
Okay. Anyway, let's go back to Tatis because this is really, again, the Giants have improved by getting Chris Bryant. The Dodgers have improved by getting Max Scherzer, by getting Trey Turner, although he's not back yet. They've improved by getting Corey Seager back. They've improved by getting Mookie Betts back. They'll improve when they get back Clayton Kershaw. They'll improve when they put Scherzer in the starting rotation. The Dodgers have gotten better. The Giants have gotten better. The Padres did not improve their roster enough during the trade deadline. And not only that, but they're losing guys that are important. Paddock being one, Tatis being the most important. Alex, show everybody who's watching on YouTube and on television. For those of you that are listening on radio and podcast, you'll hear it. Show everybody what happened on Friday night, that it looked completely benign as Tatis is sliding into third base. It doesn't look bad, but he comes up hurt. And who knows? Maybe this is the end of Tatis' season, unfortunately. Play it.
To third, picked by McMahon. No, he's going to drop it on the transfer. Heading for third is Fernando, and he'll be out. And he gets hurt on the play to boot. So Fernando is out at third base, but clutching onto his arm after the slide attempt.
So I have a friend of mine who's a smart baseball man who keeps telling me that the Padres wasted their money by signing Tatis to this contract this early in his career. And I said, why? How could you say such a thing? He said, because the way he plays, he's bound to get hurt. And I never really bought into that philosophy. But here's the thing. Tatis is a smart base runner, and he sees the third baseman of Colorado try and make the stab. Then he loses the ball. He's taking his time. So what does Tatis do as a smart base runner? Tries to get the third. By the way, this is the bottom of the first Friday night with the Padres already trailing 4-0.
Yeah, because the best pitcher gave up a grand slam in the first inning.
Yeah. I'm starting to think that maybe my friend is right, that Tatis plays a very loose style. He makes his own decisions on the base paths. And man, I mean, it didn't look bad. I don't know how you guys thought about it. Alex, you said you were sitting right there.
Yeah, it's just a different, because listen, dude, we knew back since spring training that this was going to continue to happen if he didn't elect for surgery. This is not a shocking development. We just have to live with it because we currently are still in a race that they want him to be a part of. But now when it's the fifth time, it's obviously you're talking about season-ending surgery, because the more and more and more it happens. Listen, I'm not a doctor. We all know this, but the more and more and more it happens, the worse and worse and worse it gets until the day that they declare him done, surgery immediately. Like that's the future. That's the future of Tatis. Regardless of what happens this season, the day the season is over, Tatis has surgery.
Okay, so you now say that you're not watching the NL West standings. You're going to watch the wild card standings. I just think the Padres are in trouble here. You know, pitching hasn't performed. Other teams have improved. Tatis is now hurt. I just think the Padres could find themselves in trouble. They're now 6.5 games back.
Yep.
So, all right, we got a lot more to get to. So much more from the world of the NFL, back to the world of Major League Baseball. So much more still to come. Hang out.
We'll be right back with more of Scott Kaplan and Crew tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM. A new generation of radio. SoCal Sports Talk.
Kaplan and Crew tonight is brought to you by BMW San Diego, your certified BMW dealer, serving drivers throughout San Diego and the surrounding areas.
Arash Markazi here, inviting you to catch my show, The Arash Markazi Show, on the mightier 1090. We are on every Monday through Friday from noon to 1 p.m. Pacific time. Join me and producer extraordinaire G. Hay Wiley, where we chop up Los Angeles sports and try not to piss too many people off.
The all-new and mightier 1090.
It's like the spirit of Greenwood is all over the place in Tulsa, North Tulsa specifically. It's like it's not just one location anymore.
This is the beginning. This is a launching pad. This is not something that we just did to come together just for this moment.
The Spirit of Greenwood is brought to you by Multicultural Health Foundation. The vaccine can protect us. Will you? Verify and trust.
People often ask me, what is the Ronald McDonald House? We are a home away from home for families with a child in medical crisis. We opened our doors in 1980, and ever since then, our job has been to support families who have a child in the hospital. And those families often have kids who are very sick or perhaps injured. We're literally 5 minutes from the bedside here at the Ronald McDonald House. So if a mom and dad need to get to the bedside, they can get there very quickly. If it's possible to imagine a child in the hospital, you can begin to imagine the stress that a mom and dad are under when they're in there acting as partners in care for their child. Our job really is to give them a place where they can find some respite, some relaxation for a moment or two before they head back to the hospital. If you'd like to support the Ronald McDonald House, visit our website at rmhcsd.org. You can make a donation, you can learn how to volunteer, you can learn more about exactly the programs and services we provide. There's even a wish list there, so you can send or drop off the kinds of supplies we need here to care for families 24 hours a day, every day of the year.
Kaplan and Crew tonight presents Let's Talk Hookup.
Hi, this is Pete Gray with this week's Fish Report. I'm going to talk today about a great trip I just returned from, Katmai Lodge on the Alagnak River in Alaska. Wow, what a great place. I've been there several times and I can't wait to go back. Fishing is unbelievable and the experience is amazing. We caught sockeye salmon, silver salmon, chum salmon, pink salmon, big king salmon. We caught rainbow trout and Arctic grayling. We saw a lot of bears. We saw moose. We saw giant beavers in the river and bald eagles everywhere. It's just a fantastic experience. It's right on the Alagnak River. The accommodations are fantastic and the boats are right on the river. You can do flyouts to famous places like Brooks Falls. It's really a great destination. Katmai.com for more information if you want that. And this weekend on Let's Talk Hookup, we'll be talking about that great trip and a lot of tuna fishing too. So tune in on the Let's Talk Hookup app and the Mightier 1090 and we'll see you next week.
Let's Talk Hookup airs on Mightier 1090 Saturday and Sundays, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m.
Pete Gray here, inviting you to catch my show, Let's Talk Hookup, every Saturday and Sunday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Pacific Time. For over 30 years, we've been the voice of the fishing community for Southern California, and so glad to be back on the big stick.
The all-new and mightier 1090.
Explore the Southwest lifestyle, the culture, the music, the food, y más. Join hosts J.R. Cardenas and Vanessa Ramirez on Su Vida. Enjoy the food, discover new artists, and fun things to do.
Watch Su Vida, Sunday night at 7 on Your View. Brought to you by Harrah's Resort Southern California. It's more than a place, it's a state of mind.
Love Promise moments are part of the mission of what we do here at Subaru El Cajon. A Love Promise moment is when we as human beings deliver an experience beyond exceptional to any one of our guests, and then that guest's life is positively affected by that interaction. It's amazing to watch what happens when two human beings talk on that level and create something magical. And sometimes they drive away with a car, sometimes they don't, but we've had an impact on that person's life, and that's the magic. You know, our employees react to things like Make-A-Wish, Feeding San Diego, and the other groups we help by jumping in.
This year, through COVID, we were able to help a little girl out and got her a rather large scooter that she needed for mobility.
We gave up our Christmas party as employees, and we actually adopted a wish of a young girl here in El Cajon, and we gave her a 3-wheel scooter so she didn't have to use her wheelchair all the time. It gives me goosebumps even thinking about it.
Let's take it up a notch with Kaplan and Crew tonight's Premium Boost, powered by the Mightier 1090.
San Diego is a great place for deep sea fishing because it's home of the largest sport fishing fleet in the world. You can go on a half-day trip, a full-day trip, multi-day trip, all the way up to 18 days to catch tuna and wahoo, or just locally here to catch yellowtail. When booking a deep sea fishing excursion out of San Diego, there's several resources, and of course, the San Diego landings have great web pages. Seaforthlanding.com, fishermanslanding.com, PointLomaSportFishing.com are the perfect resource to book your next fishing vacation out of San Diego. What you need to do to have fun in the sun while you're out fishing is, of course, you'll have to obtain a California fishing license or a Mexican fishing license, depending on where the trip goes, and then get set up with tackle. All the landings have all the tackle for rental, and they'll give you all the guidance on the boat for catching a lot of fish here in San Diego. What you should wear out on the water when you're fishing here in San Diego? Layers. And that's the key, because you're probably not going to get very wet because you're going to go out on a nice day, but just be prepared for layers because it can get pretty cool on the water. You know, summertime is always the best, from I would say June through September, but prime months actually in San Diego, September, October are probably the 2 prime months. Best water conditions and probably the most abundance of fish. So as far as taking your fish home, they'll fillet the fish for you on the boat and put it into a package for you, or you can use one of the local processors like Fisherman's Processing that'll vacuum seal and freeze your fish so that you can put it in your cooler and take it home and eat it. Depending on how long your excursion is, you can go anywhere from a half-day trip for around $50 plus your license, all the way up to a multi-day trip that maybe costs several $100s per day. But a full-day trip is going to cost you about $150 a day, depending on the Mexican license or California licenses that you need to get.
Kaplan and Crew tonight's Premium Boost is powered by the Mightier 1090. Kaplan and Crew tonight is brought to you by BMW San Diego, your certified BMW dealer, serving drivers throughout San Diego and the surrounding areas.
Shelter to Soldier selects dogs from shelters and rescue groups all throughout California. Our ideal candidate at Shelter to Soldier is 8 months to a year and a half old. They're confident in different environments. They have strong social drive, another motivator like food or toy drive. And ultimately, these are dogs that want to have a job and that have a greater purpose to become a service dog. Currently, about 85% of our dogs pass their service dog training. But if they don't pass, they become a career change. We don't like to use the word failure around here. So career change to an emotional support animal, or if that doesn't work out, then they career change to a pet dog. Still finding a loving placement and purpose in life.
Thank you for joining us. Catch Scott Kaplan and crew tonight from 7 to 8 p.m. Pacific every Monday through Friday. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and crew show on the mightier 1090 AM. A new generation of radio. SoCal Sports Talk.
They say if you can't stand the heat,